Attention food lovers, have you been to Nana's Bistro yet? If not, you're missing out. Nana's Deli has just unveiled their newly renovated dine-in space and it's ready for you to enjoy. The updated menu has all your favorites plus a new star, Foods Are Flats, served with every salad, sandwich, or grill order. But let's not forget the classics that made Nana's famous. Their mouth-watering tuna, legendary sloppy joes, hearty soups, and that unbeatable pastrami sandwich. This is comfort food done right. And with Passover around the corner, Nana's will have plenty of delicious holiday favorites ready for you. Got a special occasion? Nana's Bistro is perfect for private events, birthdays, anniversaries, or just because. You name it, they'll make it unforgettable. Since 1981, Nana's has been a tradition, and they're still going strong. And if you're in Jersey City, you already know Nana's is there too, bringing their signature flavors to your neighborhood. So what are you waiting for? Stop by Nana's, enjoy your favorites, and don't forget those Foods Are Flats. Nana's Deli, serving tradition, flavor, and love since 1981. Mention Foods Are Podcast to receive 10% off your next order. Go to nanasdeli.com for more information. Let me tell you about Steeplechase Estate Sales and Services because I've seen firsthand how incredible they are. My good friend Craig Reiner runs the show, and if you're in northern New Jersey, there's no one better to trust your estate sale with. Craig was raised in Livingston, so he knows the families, the history, and exactly how to get the best value for your items. I've personally used Steeplechase, and let me tell you, Craig makes the process easy, stress-free, and actually fun. Whether you're downsizing, handling an estate, or just looking for hidden treasures, his expertise and personal touch make all the difference. If you want someone who truly cares about your sale and treats your belongings with respect, call Steeplechase Estate Sales and Services today. Give Craig a call at 973-556-7433. Tell Craig the Foods Are sent you, and as Craig always says, let's have a Steeplechase day. Mention Foods Are Podcast at your next Steeplechase sale to receive a discount.
This is Behind the Counter.
Beyond the counter.
With the Food Zone. Here's Heidi.
Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Counter with the Food Czar, which is me, Heidi Blum. And today I'm super excited for a lot of reasons. Number one, I love friendships. Number two, I love women on a lot of levels. And number three, I love celebrating all of that. So I am lucky enough to be sitting down today with Sunny and Jenn. And if you don't know who Sunny and Jenn is, it's Pam Sunshine and Jenn Sherman. So girls, welcome, welcome.
Thanks, Heidi.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for, honestly, what an honor. And I'm excited. I'm excited.
How excited?
I'm gonna tell you how excited. I'm
Scale
like
of 1 to 10.
So I'm gonna say I'm at a good 9 right now.
For real?
Oh, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
think
am
so.
I.
Think so.
Better bring her
really?
A-game.
Yes.
Yeah,
I know.
we're excited too.
Listen, I went to sleep early. I think that's the Jenn Sherman way, right?
And the Pam
Get into
Sunshine
bed.
way.
Yeah. And the Pam Sunshine
Yes.
way. So, okay. So for those who don't know you guys, which I'd be surprised, but there are people who don't.
Many that don't.
They may know Jenn from Peloton.
Right.
They may know Pam from Tenafly.
Yeah.
But let's start, why are you Sunny and Jenn, right? So it's based on your friendship.
Correct.
And what would you say it is? Are you, when people ask me, when I'm I'm interviewing Sunny and Jenn, I'm like, it's an account. It's not an account. What is it? What do you say it is?
So this was something for all of you that don't know that was very organic, and we didn't set out to be two best friends to be influencers.
Right.
We were on a girls' trip. We got stopped in Palm Beach. Hey, what are you guys wearing? We were like, blah, 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 whatever we're wearing. And we go on our merry way. We don't even ask the woman who's interviewing us, what are you interviewing us for? That's that. Fast forward 2 months later, our phones start blowing up from our kids saying, Mom, our daughter and my daughter, you're on everyone's For You page. I'm like, I don't even know what you're
FYP, dude. It's
What's
called
it
an
for?
FYP.
Okay,
What's it for?
I don't know. I was not on TikTok.
Right.
I'm like an Instagram.
I didn't know it was FYP back then either.
So, and I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, Mom, you're on everyone's For You page. I called Jen, and apparently this woman, Class of Palm Beach, drops this video.
She's like a content creator or whatever.
Content
She's a content creator,
and
exactly.
the TikTok went viral to 17 million views.
No.
Yes.
Random.
Random.
Very random.
So Jen being, in this space as an influencer, Peloton, she said, you know what? Why don't we make a fun account?
You know what it was? The reaction to the video was, if you went through the comments on the video, and there turns out there were hundreds, now there's thousands of comments on that one video. The comments were crazy. And that's what I said to Pam. I don't know. People like us, I think. Like there's something that's resonating here.
Right.
And the comments underneath the post weren't about, it was much more like, oh my God, friendship goals. Look at these two 50-year-old bitches. We want to be like them. So cool, blah, blah, blah. It was a lot of that kind of stuff. And we sort of just started it as a goof, complete goof. And
We got the name wrong. She made the TikTok account. That wasn't even like the name we like discussed. Remember?
Yeah, what were we?
It was supposed to be like Sunny and Sherman because we
Right,
were
yeah,
Sherman.
yeah.
And she didn't do it right, and then there was like a month waiting period to rename it, and we're like, okay, well, this is supposed to be the name. It'll be Sunny and Jenn.
TikTok was a completely foreign space to me.
It's a foreign space to a lot of us. Yeah.
And I still don't even know it well. I had obviously had some experience with Instagram, no choice because of my job.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even good at that. But diving into TikTok was a complete friggin', we had no idea what we were doing. And Heidi, I would venture to say that's the reason why it worked.
I mean, there's so much to unpack in that because we are 50-year-old plus-ish
58
women.
We're 50 plus, plus, plus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
plus,
whatever.
plus.
I mean, it doesn't. It's just a number.
Yeah.
But
That is true.
and I think that's partly of what we're going to talk about in a little bit. But learning the social media game and being an influencer, right? So we're all sort of blind doing it. There's no
Right.
school to do it. These kids sort of learn it just because they're on their phones at a younger
24/7.
age. Yeah.
Right.
So isn't it amazing that you're like out there doing it and then you're all of a sudden people are like reacting to it in a positive way and you're like, oh my God, we're doing this.
Yeah, it was wild, actually.
Well,
It was-
that's what I think has kept the momentum with it.
Yeah.
Because the reaction from all the people out there has really been so positive and unbelievable. And, I'm not used to this, getting stopped and people saying, you're so relatable. You feel like a best friend. I want to be best friends with you guys. Keep spewing your knowledge. Jen, keep being funny. They love the banter. And it's really authentic. Like what you see is what you get.
Okay, so let's discuss the friendship.
Okay.
Okay. And then I want to get back to something you just said. So the friendship, you guys have been friends. When did you guys meet? Tell me about the course of your friendship.
Want me to take it?
Yeah, you take it.
So, are we 40 years? We got to get this shit right. Is it 40?
We met when I was 18 and I'm 58. So do
Okay.
the math. 40
I
years.
can't do the
40
math.
years. I
So-
know. I'm with you, Jen.
I don't do math, but okay.
Me
so,
neither.
So it legitimately is 40 years. So Pam and I have been the best of friends for what feels like a lifetime. I mean, 40
Did
years
you meet
of
in
my
college at 18?
We met. Yes, we met in college. We didn't go to college together.
You went to Syracuse. Oh, you went to
I went to
American.
I'm a year older than Jen. In school.
You can't tell, by the way.
thank
Yeah, she's just a teeny tiny bit older than me. I was. We met through a mutual friend, a guy named Jimmy Grandfine.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah, a friend of mine very dear friend of mine from high school. Pam's best friend from college. So those were the years where we met. We met in our college years, but the friendship really didn't take on a life of its own until we had both graduated from school. In fact, side note, my roommate at Syracuse was Pam's sister, Wendy.
No.
Yes, not a fluke thing. Jimmy was responsible for that sort of
That's
kind
so
of also,
weird.
like introducing.
Yeah.
We were in the same sorority, all that
Yeah.
bullshit. I was an SDT at Syracuse.
Oh, I was an STT at Hartford
Oh, when was the last time you wore your yellow tea rose?
on the
girl?
day of my initiation. Are we not allowed to say that?
I think you are.
I think it's out, yeah.
Do we just give some secrets away? Anyway, so our friendship really took off once we were both out of college. Pam was living in the city. We were young, wild, and free single ladies.
Yeah.
And from that time until now, we have gone through every high point in our life together, every low point in our life together, and there's been plenty of both. Walk down each other's aisles.
I was your maid of honor.
Really?
Yeah.
I was your maid of honor. We
People wonder about that. They're like, are they really friends for that long?
Well,
This bitch walked down my
Yes,
aisle
I was-
and vice versa.
But that's actually good to know because
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known that. But,
Yeah.
you see women who are friends now, they could have met when their kids were 10. You
Yeah.
don't know how
No,
deep the
we
friendship goes.
We are friends before kids, before husbands, before
Right.
all of it. Fun fact, we had the same due date for our oldest kids.
Oh, really?
Not
Sure
planned.
Not planned. Not planned, because that would be sick.
That would be
But-
really sick.
Yeah.
So when all this happens, you get stopped on the street in Florida and and all that, right? So, and you guys are like, we may be onto something.
Right.
How does that conversation go? So what happens? You say, like, Pam, where are you in your life? Jen, you're working at Peloton and you're like, let's add this to our plate. How do we go about it? What are we doing? Like, what
Yeah,
happens?
It was very vague in the beginning. It was
Yeah.
kind of like this thing blew up. I said to Pam, maybe we should do another video, just another video, and see what happens. Let's do a video. Let's post a video about the fact that we just went viral on TikTok.
Okay.
And that's what
And
the video,
that's really how.
and that's
yeah.
what the video was about.
Yes.
And then that got 3 million views. And the comments were crazy.
and it just
It started from that. Now, Heidi, in all fairness, did we know what we wanted to do with it? No. And again, the influencing piece, let's just say, we can get
Yeah.
to that like in a moment, but
Yeah.
Talking about it started out as let's just talk about shit that we love and let's talk about our friendship and let's talk about life.
Yeah.
And what it's like to be 50 something years old trying to live your best fucking life.
Yeah.
And how grateful we are to have a friendship like this to go through life together.
Yeah.
So we were talking about our kids, about life, about things that we love, food, exercise, wellness, well-being, shopping.
So basically everything that really a lot of people who would be following you can relate to.
1,000%.
Yeah.
But it didn't, then it sort of morphed into, we would be talking about favorite podcasts, favorite TV shows, any trips we were taking. And then it started with, what are you wearing? I love your shirt. I love your style. I
Yeah.
love your necklace. I love.
Yeah, you seem to like what is it? Give people like a lot of links to products that
Yeah.
you're using or whatever it is
As
that
I
people
say,
are
I'm not a
interested in.
gatekeeper. I've never been, I share my knowledge and wealth. with all
I'm
my
wearing one
friends.
of the lotions that you and it smells delicious. Thank you, Uni.
The beauty of us is we only talk about things we can get behind.
Yeah.
So we're totally authentic
Yeah.
and talk about stuff we love.
So it's interesting because, as we all know, we're all into that whole Mel Robbins, let them, right? I
She's the guru.
I
Pammy is the
started
guru.
that. I remember listening to it when that podcast went live.
yeah.
It was like, I'm not good with dates, but this was such a turning point in my life by listening to that. And it was 2023, like May-ish.
Yeah.
Not like now that everyone's catching on
No,
to
no, no.
Let Them.
I made her listen. My kids say it. My husband say it. I made everyone listen
Well,
to it.
because you can apply it to everything.
And
So-
I was going through a very rough personal time in my life. And I latched onto that and it fucking saved me.
yeah.
Because I was able to let shit go and detach myself from stuff that I didn't cause
Yeah.
and that I couldn't do anything about. But I just had to figure out how to live my best life and not let this other stuff bog me down. And it really was, I mean, I'm thrilled now with what she's done and how people are catching on to it because
Yeah.
it's life-changing.
It is life-changing. And my point in mentioning her is something that resonated with me is about friendship. She talks about friendships and it's like there's a friend for all seasons, a friend for I forget what it is, but it's like a friend for all seasons, a friend for a lifetime, and a friend for, whatever's happening in that moment.
Yeah.
Right?
It's true.
And, when we talk about friendships, right, and at our age, to me, you can see how that makes a lot of sense, right?
Yes.
And it's really nice to see when you say you've been friends for 40 years, people don't know that, right? They maybe had followed Jen because of Peloton, right? Maybe that's where a lot of this came from. But for people to now see the friendship and see how that works, don't you think? I think that's like so beautiful.
It is beautiful
And powerful.
and that's another huge theme that we see constantly in everyone, in the comments and the reach outs and when we meet people on the street. It's, we take for granted that we have this 40-year-old friendship sometimes.
Yeah.
When you hear other women say, I don't have a friend like that in my life.
Yeah.
What I would do to have a friend like that in
Yeah.
my life. I wish I could go go away for the weekend with a girlfriend. You
Yeah.
two seem so fun. You seem so, you take such good care of each other. It's definitely, it's a gift. It's an absolute gift.
It's so true. I mean, I've been very lucky. I'm friends with my friends from high school. I'm friends with
Yeah.
my friends from college. I'm friends with my friends from the city, and camp and all of that. Not everybody has that for whatever reasons. Right? I mean, as we would tell our kids, sometimes it's luck of the draw.
Right.
Right?
It's true.
When you guys decide to do Sunny and Jenn, Jen, you are probably more used to being out in the public.
Right.
Right? I mean, you had your own following, like I said, from Peloton. You're used to putting yourself out there, but you would probably put yourself out there more as the persona of Jenn Sherman, Peloton instructor who loves her music and the Eagles and Bruce Springsteen.
You nailed it.
And the list goes on, right? So
yeah, even though I was super comfortable in the public eye, all the years before Sunny and Jenn at Peloton, and I had to be very public facing on Instagram and on social media and stuff, but I wasn't an influencer. I was just a Peloton instructor that posted my shit. It's part of my job.
Yep.
It's part, it's part of our job to do
do you have
that.
to? Do they?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I mean, they're very.
Well, you have to engage with the public.
You
so
have
they,
to engage,
Yeah, you want them to connect to
a
you.
motivator.
Well, she's
Well,
a
thank you.
Yeah, no.
Yes,
I
I mean, that's
she's like it's like freaking like Oprah Winfrey. She changed people's lives. Way before Sunny and Jenn, obviously her and I did a lot of stuff together, and she would get stopped, and I would be laughing. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. Like you are motivating people. You've changed their lives.
not just let's give Jen, you pretend you're not here for a second.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's not even motivating. The power of the platform is so huge,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Especially Peloton's platform, huge. People connect to instructors for a lot of different reasons, right?
They do.
I can connect to Jen because I feel like we were meant to be best friends, right?
Told you guys.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like we have a lot in common. We,
Right.
I'm like, she's camp, I'm camp, she's this, I'm the, so I can connect to you. I connect to other instructors also, but there are certain classes that you can teach that maybe connects with someone on a deeper level. They're having a bad day. They're fighting an illness. Right. They lost a parent, whatever it is. You're sitting in that front and center seat, and that is helping someone when whatever moment that you don't even know.
Yeah.
Right?
It's true.
That you are helping them sort of, no pun intended, ride through the wave of emotion that they're going through in that moment.
For sure.
Right? I mean, that's a
And
very powerful
It's powerful. It's a big responsibility.
Yes.
It's life-changing.
Yes.
It's a blessing. It's
Yeah.
all of those things.
Yeah.
So I was comfortable in that space.
Yeah.
And Sunny kind of just got dragged into it, having to put herself out there.
That was my next question.
And it is still very much a process. But here's what I'm going to just say before you even ask your next question.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of her because it's still not easy. She still is second guessing, which I understand. Should I post this? Should I not post this? I'm like, dude, post.
Ready?
People love you. They love you.
Go back to Mel Robbins. Right? What does she say about your social media page?
It's
your
yours.
account.
Stop overthinking it. Who
Yes,
gives a
let
flying fuck
them.
what anyone else thinks?
Right.
Let
Correct.
them.
Post
Right.
5 times a
Yes.
day.
Right.
If people don't
Right.
want to follow you, they don't have to follow
Exactly.
you.
And they don't have to look, but it's still, this, even though we're coming up on 2 years, which
Is that true?
Yeah.
which is kind of bizarre.
Wow.
It is 2 years already.
June
Let's
is gonna
discuss.
be 2 years.
Okay, so the question I was going to ask Sunny is, so now you guys decide we're going to do this account. We're getting 17 million. We got 3 million. I mean, and that sounds so like if I got that on like one of my posts, I'd be like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
To make that pivot, right, for you, Sunny, to now say, okay, we're going to do this. I'm going to, Jen's been doing it.
Right.
For you to all of a sudden like expose your life. I mean, that's what you're doing. It's very vulnerable.
Yes.
Putting yourself out there. Where were you in your life when this happened?
So when this happened, I work. I don't know if you know that. I'm a personal assistant.
I do know
Okay,
that.
for the same person.
For the people listening,
Yeah.
Pam works.
She sure does.
I'm a personal assistant for the same person. This month, it's going to be 30 years.
It's amazing.
I've been with her longer than
That
I've been
you
with my
should be
husband.
proud of, by the
and
way.
I am
It's not-
proud.
yeah.
We have an amazing relationship, and it just works. So I was doing my job, and I was an empty nester. And this just fell in our our lap, and I said, I'm in for it, Jen. I just don't know what I'm doing. But let's see.
And I think you also were saying at the beginning, I also don't know how much I can give.
Yes.
Like, how time consuming is this?
Yeah,
gonna
I
be?
didn't know.
What's
always
this going
the
to
fear.
turn into?
Yeah, I
That's
didn't know. I
always-
said I'll
yeah.
give it a step, but I do have a full-time job. That is
Yeah.
my first priority.
And you're afraid to commit.
I'm afraid to commit, and I didn't want to let Jen down. But we were kind of like, if
We
this
were on
guy-
the same page only because
she had a job also. She has
Yeah.
a full-time
Peloton is my priority.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
of
love
course.
you, Sunny,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know,
and and more important than any of that, the most important thing was our friendship.
Sure.
And we said, once this does not feel even a little bit right, or it just is not going in the direction we want, we're done.
Yeah.
We go back just being our best friends and go back to our life, and that's fine. It was a fun ride, and we were totally on the same page.
I'd probably say the same thing.
yeah.
Pam, Sunny, when we sat down and talked, you said to me that you needed this.
Yeah, so I didn't know I needed this.
Yep.
You know, I had this really kind of, I don't want to say perfect life, but I was very content and very happy. I raised 2 girls. They're in graduate school and undergraduate college. My husband works. We have a great relationship. All was great.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that I was missing something for me.
Yeah.
And prior to Sunny and Jenn, I had gone on a trip. I'd been dying to go to Morocco. And it was on my list, and I went.
Why? Why were you dying?
I was dying to go to Morocco. It
Just
was
one of those, like,
it was
bucket
one of
lists?
those
Yeah.
bucket list
Okay.
things. I was dying to go, and I was prepared to go alone.
Okay.
And then 2 friends ended up joining me, but I was fine to do it on my own. And I went, and it was the first time in my life since my single days that I went away on a trip just for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't moving a kid into college. It wasn't a spring break. It wasn't a family trip.
wedding,
A
this,
wedding.
yeah.
It was none of that. It was just for me. I was in a gorgeous hotel room by myself doing what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And not worrying about anyone else.
By the
take
way,
it-
not for everybody, and it was
not for
life-changing
everybody,
It was
yeah.
life-changing.
That's sort
for
of
me.
why I asked why she wanted to go to Morocco.
It was, I had like an eat, pray, love moment.
That's amazing.
And I was like, you know what? I want to start doing more of these things. And
Yeah.
you can be a mom, and you can be a wife, and you can be a friend and a daughter and a sister and all of that stuff, and still have shit for yourself. And my friend said to me, it's not being selfish, it's having a self.
yeah.
And that's what I felt with this. And this Sunny and Jenn, it's just for me.
Yeah.
No one else is benefiting from it.
No.
Like, yeah, I mean, mine and Jen's friendship is here. It's solid. It's here to stay. Sunny and Jenn goes away tomorrow. We're still best friends.
Totally.
Right.
And it's filling of like, I guess there was a void that I didn't know there was a void.
Yeah.
And there was.
You know, it's interesting because, I think when we all go through the years with our kids, we're doing everything for everybody else. And I always say to people, the way I've always gone about it is I needed to put myself first, and then it's my marriage, and then it's my kids. Like, it has to be in a certain order, because if I'm not happy, no one else around me is happy. And people sometimes are like, really? And I'm like, yes. And I think it sounds selfish when you say it.
No, it doesn't.
To some
It's a
people, maybe,
mentality.
right?
it
It's a
does,
mentality.
but
Yeah.
No.
But I know that if I'm not my best self, then I'm not my best. Then I'm not being a good partner. I'm not being a good mother. I'm not being a good friend. I'm not being
Correct.
And I think it's so important for people to realize that. The other thing I was going to say is, I think what a lot of us being at this age, there is this transition, right? Our kids are older. They don't need us as much, or they need us in a different way, or whatever. And I know for me, like sitting down and being a podcaster and a micro influencer, whatever you want to call me, it has been a gift for me. And it was filling a void because I've always been worried, well, what is my life going to be? I don't want to just sit around. To people who want to do that, that's lovely and that works for them. For me, I know I needed something, so I can understand what you're saying. And this seems to fill that, correct?
We could never have done this, by the way, if
Yeah.
our kids weren't older and out of the house.
Yeah.
We had no idea what it would turn into. First and foremost, it's super fun, right?
I was gonna say, so tell me what it turned into. So
I mean,
it's
what's
super fun.
I always say this, I'm like a broken record. Everyone's
Yeah.
heard me say this. There's no downside to spending more time with your best friend. We spend more time together now because we sort of have to create content. And
Yes.
we're both very busy. We both have full-time jobs.
So what's the process?
It's kind of weird. We figured it out. First of all, like high five to us, because I don't even know how the fuck we have figured this out, because it's actually not easy, right? I have a pretty set schedule with Peloton.
How many days a week do you teach?
I'm teaching 3 now. It could be a 4th depending on the week. And then there's always other things.
Are we bringing back Yacht Rock for the summer?
Yeah.
Okay, I just needed to know.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
And Pam, she's busier. She's almost busier than I am with her real job.
Sure.
Like no joke. So I'm really proud of us that we figured it out. But here's what we do. We wing a lot of it. We say it's not like this structured, every Monday we meet from this hour to this hour and we film content. It's more like, what's your week look like? What's your week look like? When am I seeing you this week?
Right.
And what do we have to get done when I do see you? You know, in the beginning, it was a free-for-all.
Yeah.
Now it's a little bit more
Organized
in a schedule. We work with some. It's crazy to even say it, but we've got some brand deals. We've got things we owe people. Content and with their schedule sometimes. And then in terms of churning out our content and trying to put that out regularly, well, we just flat out suck because we're still not there.
We're not.
We're not there. We go in ebbs and flows. And I keep saying to Pam, if we really wanted to get serious about this shit, we would actually have to take it and kick it to another level. We can't.
But what does that even mean? Who's saying you suck?
Well,
I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves because we do.
I will say, there is a pressure to have content and put it out all the time.
I was going to say, Heidi, you're in this world. You understand. I mean, if you're really going to call yourself a content creator, there is at least a nominal amount of stuff you've got to do.
Yes, and you have to be consistent.
And you have to be consistent. And we're not.
Yeah.
Meaning, you're not going to go a full week and not hear from us. Yeah. But you can go a couple of days, and that's insanity in the content creation world. But again, this is like our second gig. This is like whatever happens with it happens. That if the minute we start putting crazy pressure on ourselves with this shit,
it's not worth it.
It's going to fall apart.
Totally.
It's going to fall apart.
I agree.
We don't need more. I don't need
more.
And right now, while I still do have another job that's a priority, while Pam still very much has another job that's a priority, this is what it's going to look like. It's going to come in ebbs and flows. You're going to hear from us in some capacity every week.
Sure.
You're not going to hear from us every single day. We don't have the time. We can't do it.
Yeah.
People think this shit's easy.
It's not.
As you know, Heidi.
It's not.
It is really tough.
It's tough.
It's hard.
If you want to make for me, I've made a tiny little push, and my tiny little push, it takes me somewhere every day.
Yeah,
and that's not what I thought it was going to be, but I love it. But you can see how you can burn out from it too.
Right. Yes. For sure.
Yeah.
Burnout's such a real thing in this.
Do you guys discuss the content you're going to put out? Like, do you map it out for the week?
No,
we don't.
I'm going to give you an example. You did the other day. You were talking about, hey, Sunny, we haven't talked about TV shows.
Yes.
Right.
So we did. We started talking about it like we were on the phone. Like we talk about, did you see this? Did you see that? And then we'll say, God, you know what? Great. We'll talk about it the next time we see each other.
Yeah.
And we won't talk about it. We'll save it.
Right.
So that it's not staged and rehearsed. And it doesn't sound staged and rehearsed.
But on the other side of the coin, I think what you're really asking, Heidi, is because most content creators, do go by a calendar and a format.
Yeah.
Every Monday is going to be this. Every Wednesday is going to be this. We do not do that. We don't even pretend to do that. Now, it would benefit us to do that, but we just are not there yet.
I don't know that it would benefit you. I think the beauty is the way you're doing it now because it's working.
Maybe so.
We've talked about Wisdom Wednesdays because I like to drop a lot of knowledge. Or,
Sonny's got some serious knowledge.
So let's discuss because it's a joint account.
Yes.
Right. There are the Mel Robbins quotes. There are the spiritual quotes. That's coming from the Sunny side of it.
That's the Sunny side of things.
The Jen side is coming from, I went in Carly's closet, and this is what the jeans I found.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So, listen, we are two obviously individual people.
Yes.
A lot of our interests overlap, of course. We're best friends that share the love of a lot of things, but we're two completely different people. She is the saner, more rational, more grounded, more namaste version. And I'm a fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
And so she balances me out. So you're exactly right. Anything you see, any quote, anything, if you think I made it up, I didn't. It's always coming from her, know that. And she's made me a better person in the way that I look at things from just my life's perspective. I'm a worrier by nature. So is Pam, but she handles it differently than a lot of us do. She's done a lot of work on herself. She's transformed a lot in these last few years.
I have.
And her
and it feels great.
and she's really learned a lot. I learned a lot from her in how to be the best version of myself, mentally and physically. She doesn't just walk what's that saying? You don't just do the talk.
She walks the walk and talks the talk.
Yeah, she actually
She's the real deal.
she actually does meditate every single day, and it's a priority.
You do.
Yeah.
She actually moves her body every single day, no matter what, even if it means a 15-minute walk outside. You know, I'm the fitness instructor, and she's the one that says, maybe
go
move
for a
your
walk.
body. Let's go for a walk.
Yeah.
You know,
It just makes you feel better. Like,
You know?
that's
And then on top of it, just to praise my friend, she has always, and all of our friends will tell you this. You need a birthday gift? You call Sunny. I called her last night and said, where are we going for my son's graduation dinner? Where am I eating? She is the restaurant guru, the travel guru, the gift giving guru.
That's
and
good.
she's a stylish bitch.
You are stylish.
She's so stylish. And I'm like the fake ass version of her.
You're not the fake ass. You're Jen
but-
Sherman.
and you have you bring a
But
lot
that's
to
the
this
point
friendship.
when
We are
everyone
good
does say
balance.
Sunny and Jen from Peloton, and she'll say to me like a lot of times, "Oh, that person only wanted to talk to you." I'm like, "Sunny," and I think she's starting to understand it. They fucking love you.
They do.
They fucking love you.
Listen, they do, and that's a very good point, because what I said earlier is Jen had the following, right? I mean,
There would be no Sunny and Jen without Jen.
right. So Jen has
Crystal
the
clear,
following,
and
but
that's
it's
okay.
but isn't it nice that people are getting to know you and getting to know why this friendship is what it is?
Yes, no, it is. It's great. It's
Seeing
love it.
Sunny get recognized is the joy of my
I'm
life.
sure. Yeah.
It is the fucking
she's
best.
like the proud mother.
Yes,
Do
that's
people
how I feel.
recognize you in like if you're like somewhere or
Without
they're like
me, all over the place.
really?
Yes, it's
Isn't it fun?
it's still a very new space for me, and
Yeah.
I don't even. It's very
Listen,
humbling.
don't get us
it's-
wrong. Neither one of us get like followed down the street. We're
No,
not, like,
no, but
it's
I
not
will say-
unbearable.
No,
Like,
but
it's not
no.
but a weird,
It's-
obscure
place.
place. Like maybe when I was in Japan, it might have happened a couple times.
Really? That's that's amazing.
So
I mean,
it's-
I listen,
it's
I
very
go to the
humbling.
supermarket and I'm like, I forget that my face is like
Right.
on social media every second, and people are looking at me and I'm like, hi, and they're like, I know you, and you forget
Yes.
why they know you, because it's just a natural
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Like what I'm doing, it's natural for you guys.
Like when she's like, "Are those people looking at us?" I'm like, "Yes, they are."
Yeah.
Yes, they are. Yes,
But
they
there's
are.
something
becoming
so
feeling
ni-
a little like more like kind of normal. Like,
Yeah, but it's so nice,
It's-
like because it's
it's amazing.
It's acknowledgement that people are enjoying what they're saying, right?
And people are
Yes.
so freaking nice.
People are so
You
nice.
know,
And when I meet people, like as we say, out in the wild,
Yeah.
it's so
that is what we say.
It's so humbling. And when people say you've inspired me, and I bought this, and I'm working out, and I'm doing this, and I bought the Mel Robbins book, and I'm eating healthy, and I made your soup, and I did this, and I love your friendship. That brings me like pure joy and happiness in this crazy fucked up world we're living in.
Yes.
Just pure niceness.
Yes.
Is really amazing.
It gives you hope.
It gives you hope.
It
that
gives
there's
you
still like
hope.
amazing, nice people left
Yeah.
out there, and this is a friendship. I feel very like that. I have a friendship like this. 40 years.
Yeah.
This is as we said, this is a gift. I don't take this lightly.
Well, it's interesting because how Jen's saying how much you've evolved. Maybe you wouldn't have seen, had this not happened, you might not see all the changes in somebody when you spend a lot of time. You know, like I have, like I said, all my friends for as long as whatever, but you don't get to spend a lot of time with them just because of life.
Yes.
And you're now choosing to spend a lot of
Yes.
time together where you can really see how much each one has grown.
For sure.
oh my God.
For
right?
sure.
I mean, this was the friend who, and I say this to her all the time.
Here it comes.
Here it goes.
She called in sick every Monday and Friday before Peloton.
Oh,
When she worked
Like in my younger years.
Yeah, her younger years.
I
When
was
she,
a fucking.
She hated
degenerate.
work. The minute she got pregnant, she quit.
I was a degenerate.
Sick every Monday and Friday. Would say
What
to me,
was the job? Can you say?
Yeah, I worked in
Yes.
the music business for.
Did you really? Did I
Yeah.
know that?
And
I'm
didn't
like, did
you
I
work-
know that?
didn't
I feel like I
you
know
work,
everything
like,
about you.
NBC, CBS.
My first job out of school was CBS
Yeah.
TV, very short lived. Then I went on to.
Were you in Newhouse at Syracuse?
I like to act as if I was.
But
that was the game plan.
That'd be
Heidi.
hard now.
You know the student that applies to Syracuse because they want to go to Newhouse, but they say, I'm not going to apply directly in because I won't
gonna
get
go
in,
to the
but I'm
education school?
I'm going to transfer in
Yeah.
by the end of my freshman year.
Yeah.
That was me.
Oh,
It didn't happen.
I
but-
applied early decision to Syracuse.
Oh wow.
And I ended up in Hartford Basic Studies.
There you go. There you go. And it all works out.
Well, you
how
know
it
what
All
I
should.
works
say?
out. Yeah.
It's not where you start, but where you finish.
Amen.
There it is.
Amen.
That's all the
Amen.
sun
So
is. Ism
Jen
right there.
was the friend. She just. This is what I'm going to attribute back.
I
Now that
was
I'm
a-
looking
I
back.
was a fuck up.
No,
Wouldn't you
she
say?
just didn't like work, called in sick, whatever, because she didn't find her true passion. And then once she became a spin instructor,
And that was here. That was out here, right?
That was out here.
That was
Yep.
out here. And she was like, every class was sold out. Everyone loved her. JCC, this place, little place called Max Fit. And then she took it upon herself, heard about Peloton, reached out, and made all this shit happen for herself. And I always say to her, like,
insane.
you did this alone. No one fucking helped you.
No.
And you're killing it.
Which is wild, by the way. It's not
What?
lost on me 11 years later. I
first
still
of all-
Because,
bug
and
out.
I am like the proudest friend over here and her biggest cheerleader because I'm like, when she's fucking meeting Eddie Vedder and Bruce Springsteen,
know, it's like-
all on her own.
I know,
no
it's
one
it's
helped
pretty-
her, and
it's-
I was like, when she finally met Bruce, I said, "You did this. Like you did this. No one helped you, and you should. I'm so proud of you, and I hope you're so proud of yourself."
It's really,
And it's-
I mean, it is, your story's pretty incredible. I mean,
you.
honestly, when you see all the Peloton instructors, you're like the mom of them.
I am so the mom.
And and
I
total
am.
OG. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been a Peloton subscriber.
Yeah.
Do we call it a subscriber?
Yeah.
I mean, since I think it started
You know
2015.
she's the first instructor hired. Are you familiar with that? Number
Does it
one.
sound like I'm familiar with that? I think it sounds like
Numero
yeah.
uno,
Yes,
like, and
yes.
that's
She was
like,
probably the first or second class. I think the first class I did was with Alex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good
Yes.
choice.
Yeah,
Good
and I
choice.
think you were probably number 2.
So it's like
I
Yeah.
really am by the way, on a little side note,
Yeah,
I really am the mom of the group, and I will just say something because I do love my co-instructors.
yeah.
They give me they treat me as such, which is so special. I can't explain it to you. Like I can't explain to you how they make me feel. They remind me constantly that I was the first one.
Queen.
And they call me
This
the
is like
OG
royalty.
Well,
No,
no,
royalty,
but they're
you
just
are,
but
though.
here's
They're
the
just
thing.
awesome.
So for anyone that's listening that is a Peloton subscriber, I have all 3 modalities.
There you go.
I know.
Look at you.
Thank you.
Good
Look at that,
word.
Hartford. Thank you very
Look at
much.
that.
So I follow a lot of the instructors, but Jen, I mean, always. But you can see, number one, how well everybody gets along.
Yep.
Number 2, how much they do respect you. And like, I love when Andy Spear like goes on about your music and stuff. Like, there's so much like fun.
There's a lot of stuff that goes
Yeah.
on. Like a lot of the instructors, and Andy and I have such a special friendship, by the way. But I know that a lot of
He's
instructors will
He's
mention me
amazing.
in classes, and I don't even know they're talking about me. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, but I will say it is reciprocal. I do love my team.
You
so
can
many
see
people.
it. It's
You can see.
it's
not
what
makes-
bullshit.
family. It's a
By the way,
Yeah.
it's what makes Peloton.
special. It does.
It's a
It
very
is.
special community.
And I have another. I mean, should I mention? I mean, I have a tonal, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
You
I have a
mentioned,
tonal.
of
Yeah, I
course.
have a
Go
tonal.
ahead.
Oh, there, I said it. I have
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But it's a different. It's so different.
Yeah.
I mean, I love my tonal. If tonal's listening, which they're probably not, I love my tonal. But
Yep.
it's a different connection
It
with
is,
the
and
instructors. And I think everyone would say that the Peloton instructors, there's something special. And like, you know, I mean, we can go on and on and on about the Peloton instructors, but
Yeah.
there is, to wrap it up in the Peloton thing, is that there is such a respect from the riders and from the instructors.
Which I really do appreciate. I don't take that for granted.
And I think people find tremendous joy, not just Pam, who's your best friend, but when you got to meet Bruce Springsteen, I mean, it was like the world
well,
stopped.
because anyone who
Yeah.
follows Jen and knows Jen
Yes.
knows what a big deal this was for her. It
Yes.
was huge.
It's huge.
There's been a lot of amazing things that have come through from Peloton. It's been life changing.
But again, it's you maybe I'm going to say manifesting. I don't know. Is that the right word? Pam, tell me. You're spiritual.
She made it happen for
Yeah.
herself.
Yeah.
Because I think she found something that really resonated with her and
Yeah.
made her feel good. And she worked her ass off. I said, you went from being like, again, calling sick Monday to Fridays, to being the hardest working motherfucker I know. I mean, this girl works hard.
Because
it's
you
not
love-
just about
because you
getting
love
hopping
it.
on the bike.
Yeah.
The playlist, I got to be in by a certain time.
The
there's a
playlist
whole-
is, I mean, if there was no playlist, there would be no Jenn Sherman.
Exactly.
Thank you very
I mean,
much.
it goes, that's,
exactly. So she
Appreciate
works.
that.
I mean,
She-
I'm just going to say my mixtape is my favorite
Oh, me
out of
too.
all the series because
you.
it's
Appreciate
just,
that.
to me is, that it's gold.
You get me, Heidi.
I get you,
me.
Jen Sherman.
Yeah,
I told you I did.
you
yeah.
do.
Okay, so if you were to give anyone that's listening advice that's finding themselves in their mid years,
Yep.
back nine.
yeah, we don't have to call it anything. It could be back nine, it could be middle nine, it could be whatever. It could
It's true,
be
any age.
who are trying to find or fill their void as friends and as influencers. What would you tell them?
Number one, I say this all the time, get comfortable being uncomfortable. Step outside your comfort zone. You don't grow by staying in the box.
And it could be anything.
It could be anything. Pick up the phone, reach out to somebody, send the email. Don't care what anyone else fucking thinks.
Yep.
That's a big one. That's really a big one.
It's
It
re-
took
it's-
years to get to that,
it's-
right?
it's
very
still
really
freeing.
hard. Like,
It's
but
still hard.
Kind of goes back to my girl Mel. Like, let them. Who cares what anyone else thinks?
It's very hard, number one, to make yourself vulnerable at an
Yes.
older age. It's
Yes.
very hard to put yourself out there. It's hard. I think it's hard for a lot of people. We do get very comfortable and content, like you said you were in your life. Do you think, like, what's the most out of the box thing that has brought the two of you? Like, what, as Sunny and Jenn, the most uncomfortable the two of you have done something together that you would say, I'm so glad we did this together.
Well,
I know for you
for
it
me,
is.
not
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah.
When we went to Chicago for Sunny and Jenn,
Our first
Dear
show.
Founder tour, I was fucking freaking out. Ask Jen.
Yeah, a wreck. She
I
a
was.
wreck.
I
And
was.
were you?
No, she's.
No, yeah, used to
you
being
know
in
when I
public.
say?
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you know when I've spoken in public? At funerals and bar mitzvahs.
Yeah.
My kids' bar mitzvahs and my parents' funerals. That's it.
How many people were in the audience?
400.
400? 400? 400, my nearest and dearest.
Oh
No.
my God.
And that was right before we went on stage. I was like, my throat was getting dry.
Yep.
Who wouldn't feel this way? Like,
I just
all you
did. I just did the Murray Hill Boy. It was 600 people, and I was like freaking out.
Yeah.
But you don't. You never let him see you sweat.
No,
Right.
and I was like, you know what? I can do this.
Yep.
And when I first got out there, after like looking back at it,
was
in
so
Jen's
cute.
I was like, the quiet voice. I think I was even telling
the
the
first
story.
couple of questions that Lindsay, our moderator,
Yeah.
asked
I
Pam,
was
her
like
voice was
this.
so soft. I think I was like, speak
Speak
up,
up, yeah.
bitch. They want to hear you.
And then
Broke
I
the ice
think
from
my
her.
voice
Yeah.
like, cracked at one point. I got a little emotional about something we were talking about. And then after that, I don't know what happened.
You crushed it.
I just, thank you. I just became comfortable. I'm here and I'm going to do the best I can. And if I don't like it, I don't know what, like, I'm just doing the best I can.
And when the show was over, how did you feel?
Incredible. I
on
felt
a
like
high.
I
Ready
felt
to-
like I had done like the ice plunge.
Ready, ready to do it again.
Yeah.
Which leads us to.
I was gonna-
I don't know.
yeah.
We have two shows coming up.
Well, I was going to get to
Yeah,
that,
okay,
and I thought
so-
this is a very. I mean, I think Jen set this whole pivot up in the conversation.
It was
All right,
It was
so
very
let's-
successful. And
Yeah.
we're like, I'm in for it.
So Sunny and Jen are taking the road again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going
I
on
think
the road.
you guys need a good theme song, by the way.
I know we do.
You do.
Actually, we
Yeah.
actually do. We have a walkout song. We have to think about what we want our walkout song to be for the
Oh,
next
we would
upcoming
change
shows.
it?
We
Or do you keep
can.
the same?
So you have your first show April 9th.
So this is the
April
second.
9th?
The second. So we had Chicago was the debut show.
So it's the same series.
It's Sunny and Jen on tour with Dear
Dear
Founder.
Founder.
Okay, and Dear Founder is
A podcast that's hosted by our dear friend Lindsay Pinchuk.
And check her out because she's.
I've checked Lindsay out.
Lindsay
Lindsay,
Pinchuk on
Lindsay, I'm a
socials.
fan.
Yeah,
I'm a
Yeah,
fan.
she's
Yeah.
she's
She's
fan
amazing.
worthy. Yes,
Lindsay
she's-
had the foresight to say, we've got something here. We should take this show on the road because
Yep.
you women have something to say to women, like-minded women
sure.
of the same age, and they're ready to hear it.
Yeah.
So that's where that all came from. Show number 2 is coming up in 5 days in Detroit.
in Detroit, which is going to be on April 9th.
Yep.
So that's in a couple of days. How you feeling, Sunny?
I'm ready.
Yeah, she's
I'm
ready.
not even scared.
I think
Yeah.
you're excited. is
Yeah.
what-
I'm excited.
I think you're
I'm excited because
excited.
now I got it under my belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
And then
excited.
show number 3
Is
We're coming
is
to
in,
Jersey.
is
coming
in
to-
my hood, baby.
hometown date.
That's right.
Yeah.
They're coming to the SOPAC, South Orange Performing Arts Center, on May 6th.
Tuesday, May 6th.
The time,
I
we
think it
it's-
begins 6 p.m.
Yep.
6 p.m.
That's
Doors
good
open
for all
6
of us,
p.m.
our early, who go
Yes.
to bed early.
Early bed, but also people who work. So
Yeah.
it's
And if
a
people
good
are
time.
wondering, so you come in, but what are you coming to do?
So that was my next question.
You know what? It's a conversation. It's a sitting down with the two of us, kind of
Is
telling
it sort
her.
of like this?
It's just like
Yes.
this. It's
Yeah.
a comfortable. Lindsay's great at. You were fabulous, by the way. We're gonna have to dissect this after the
thank you.
podcast. I
Thank
have
you
so
very
many
much.
questions for
Thank
you.
you.
But anyway, very similar format. It'll be the two of us on stage with
Yep.
Lindsay as our moderator.
Yep.
We'll tell our story. There's a lot of people that don't actually know the full story of how Sunny and Jenn even became a thing.
Yep.
We'll talk about pivoting and filling those voids, trying to live your best life in this time of your life.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
40 plus, 50 plus.
where
Yep.
there's a lot of changes going on,
Not
all
tons,
sorts.
all
Yep,
sorts
all
of changes.
In
We'll
your
get into
attitude,
them.
in your body,
Yes,
all
physically,
of it.
emotionally.
emotionally, mentally, all
Yep,
of it.
all
Fuck
of it.
off menopause, like
Yeah.
all
Yep.
of it, all the shit. There's a really nice Q&A segment
Yes.
where audience members can ask us all the things they would like to ask us.
Amazing.
There's a VIP meet and greet beforehand if you'd
Yes.
want to meet us. We would
Little
love to
step
meet
and
you.
repeat
Yes.
behind
Yes.
you.
Little
Oh,
step
I
and
love a
repeat.
step and
Yes.
repeat.
Yeah. A little gathering before the show of, women coming together. It's all about connection, right? It's all about connection.
It's about, so I think for women who were listening, I think it's about connection.
Yeah.
It's about supporting.
Yeah.
And it's about listening also. Listen to other people's stories because it will help motivate yourself. I think,
1000%.
right?
What did they say?
1000%.
And IRL.
in real life.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
You really are an influencer.
I learned that in Chicago.
Yes.
And you know what? Meeting people who you sort of have met online. And, I'm a hugger.
Yep. Me too.
And that
So am I.
connection it's super important.
It's funny when people go to shake my hand who recognize me or whatever, I never take their hand and I hug them.
I'm a hugger too.
It's to me the connection, it's just so important, and you wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be here if people weren't actually engaging with us.
Yeah.
So I don't take that for granted.
Yeah, so it's bringing together, like-minded people, and it's just a really fun, it'll be just a fun, great night out.
It's gonna
That's all
be
it is, fun night out.
It's not even a fun night out. It's an amazing night out.
You gonna come see us?
I mean,
You better.
I feel like I need to be like front and center.
Oh, you're gonna be
I
front
mean,
and
I feel like I'll be the loudest one there. Of course, I'm coming, and I'm making my friends come too.
Great.
Not making.
Yeah, we don't want to. That's
No,
by the
no,
way.
hold on.
We don't want to make
are
anyone
This
come.
is a no pressure
Let me
zone.
let
Yeah.
me rephrase that.
Please
yeah,
do.
I'm having them come along with me.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
They want
how's
to
that?
come. We'd love to have them. If this isn't for them,
That's okay.
that's
too.
cool also.
So I think, I think it's amazing because I think women like us, suburban women, I'm going to say, right, sort of need people like you to listen to and to watch and to engage with because, like I said, it is motivating. Women need to be supporting women. And I think it's interesting. You can say back nine. I'm going to say I'm right in my sweet spot, right?
Okay.
So right in our sweet spot, it's a different generation than when we grew up with our parents.
For
right?
sure.
There is so much life ahead of us, right?
Yes.
Do you feel like you're just beginning?
I'm in this new chapter.
I like that.
I'm in this new chapter.
Yeah.
I have no regrets
Yeah.
of
Oh,
anything.
it's a new beginning.
It's a new beginning.
It's a new chapter.
And
I like that.
I'm in a different space.
Yeah.
Empty nester. This new gig we're doing. Just trying to live staying present. That's my number one. It's hard as fuck.
Yep.
But I'm doing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's very freeing.
And it's also fun not knowing where it's headed.
Yeah.
I was just
Not
gonna.
knowing
I
where
was-
it's headed
That was
is
gonna be my
kinda
next
fun.
question.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
Again, we've said it 5 times during this conversation. If it goes away, that's okay too. And that, I hope that's not where it's
Yeah.
headed, but where it's headed, there's infinite
Like
possibilities.
2 to 3
Day by
years.
day.
I have no idea. And I don't care.
By the way, we don't even know what social media will look like in 2 to 3 years at
Correct.
this rate. So,
Yeah.
Exactly.
right, day by day.
Just
Day by day.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it's a great place to live.
Any
moment.
closing comments to our listeners? No? I mean,
drop some
girls, come
knowledge?
on.
Come on.
What would you like me to say?
Well, I mean, I'll close it out.
Okay, do you have
How's
something
that?
to say?
I mean, I really
What
didn't
do you
think.
have to say?
By the way, this is like the hardest question of the entire interview.
Yeah,
The
right.
both of you were like crickets. Here's what I'm gonna say. Okay, it's been a pleasure sitting with both of you. I, for one, am a huge fan, and I love being your friend too.
Likewise.
Your new friend.
So this
Yeah.
is okay. I'm going to say one thing.
Okay, go
We
ahead.
talk about the 40-year friendships, and
Yeah.
if you don't have them, it's not too late to find a friend.
It's never too late to find a
Because
friend.
we just met.
Yes. I know,
a
maybe a month ago.
And what did I say to you, Jen? When I met Heidi, I'm like, she's one of us.
Yeah. She said you're going to love her.
You're
It's-
gonna love.
well-
And I felt like we really connected.
We did
I think
connect.
we have similar
Values.
Yeah.
Oh, look at us.
You know, like I just.
Yeah.
That's a gift, like later on in life, to meet people. It's not too late
But you know what
to
that
find your
is?
person.
It circles back to putting yourself out there.
Correct.
Putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
And even when it comes to making a new friend, maybe it's someone you talk to in your workout class. Maybe it's, you know what I mean? Like
You never
unlikely
know.
things can come.
Yes.
You never
You
know.
just
It's
never
The energy.
know.
I'm big on energy and people's energy.
You know what? The
and-
restaurant people that I interview or I go to their restaurant to do one of my videos, I love them. I
Yeah.
become attached to them. It is like, and I love that. You know, it
Yeah.
gets you out of your, you get
and
out
they
of your
probably
bubble.
became attached to you because you are relatable and you're open
Yes.
to like accepting people. I'm
Yes.
not trying to get all like spiritual and weird.
No, but I am an
You're
o-
not
yes.
closed off. Like
No.
that lets people in. So
Yes.
I think I try to be that way.
We do have to thank Kelly, by the way, our
Yes.
friend Kelly.
Yeah,
If
if
she's
it wasn't-
listening for
Kelly
this long,
Myers,
by
if
the
you
way.
are listening,
Yeah, thank you for setting this up.
You made the shit up.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
This was so fun.
This
This
is
was
so,
great.
I mean, I feel like we could talk for a lot longer, but
Yes.
I'm looking at the time and I'm saying we probably
Wrap it up.
not time to wrap it up, but I will finish with this. Like I said, you guys are amazing. You have a friendship that is an amazing example of two women who support each other through your lifetime and don't let the friendship fade, which, you know, can happen. You both seem to have grown from it, which I think
Yes.
is beautiful. And I feel like, I don't know, the world is yours.
Oh, thank you so
How
much.
do you like that?
I love
And
that.
good luck in your shows.
Thank you so much.
Heidi. Thank you so much.
So,
So, yeah, get
come
the
see it. Yeah,
tickets.
get the tickets. Come to Detroit on
How do they get
April
how do
9th.
they buy the tickets?
That is a great question.
They go to Dear Found Her.
Yeah, I've
on
been posting
Instagram.
all over my socials. We're
Yep.
posting it all over the Sunny and Jenn Instagram channel.
Yep.
I've posted it on the Peloton Jen channel as well. And if you don't follow Lindsay Pinchuk, start following Dear Found Her, FOUNDHER.
Love that name.
Amazing.
If you don't follow us,
Yeah.
Oh, follow Sunny and Jen.
Sunny and Jen. Jen
And
is
if you
two
don't
N's.
follow me, I don't know
Yes.
how you found this podcast. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
But this has been amazing.
Yes.
Thank you so
Amazing,
much.
guys. Thank you so much.
Heidi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you are hearing this message, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I'm truly grateful for you and this opportunity. The purpose of the Behind the Counter podcast is to bring food, people, and community together. I hope you'll return for more episodes and explore with me. I want to personally thank Fran Linnell of Design 68 for my amazing Behind the Counter podcast logo, and Travis Lohenberg for my awesome Behind the Counter music, and all the guests that take their time to sit and talk with me. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you hear your podcasts. If you'd like to support the Behind the Counter podcast, please subscribe, share with your friends and family, and you can follow me on Instagram at Heidi Blum. If you have any feedback or stories that you want to share, you can email me at foodsarbtc@gmail.com.